she was cheating on him during all this. What up, creators? It's your girl KIRB3YZ, and welcome to yet another story time, right? More than likely this video is gonna be out in the new year, so happy new year. It's still the holiday edition / cuffing season edition. And just like last time, we're going to pick a random story out of this stocking. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe to your girl's channel and hit that bell down below. And after you hit the bell, make sure you hit all so you can get all notifications and messy story uploads like this one. And before I forget, y'all already know, hold on. You gotta have the nog, man. Oh my god. And it's lactose free. Alright, spirit guides, what is the story that we're going to be telling today? Alright. This one's good, y'all. This one is called She Had the Audi Audacity. And yes, this is for my godson. I still love you. I know you're confused about what happens. I'm pretty sure that your mom is not gonna let you watch this video because she doesn't want the truth to be out. But whenever you do, think of me. I'll be here. I have the whole story for you. I love you. Wow. This takes place in 2018, just like the other story. So in the midst of that last story, this was also going on. Remember when I said there was a lot that happened that year? This was one of them. Okay. This happened after me and Frank broke up. I'm just going to give y'all this much of a backstory, but if you're wondering who was my old best friend, you can look at this vlog right here and that will explain the whole story. The thing about our friendship was it was always long distance, so she would always come to see me. I didn't have a car at the time, so it was her and her boyfriend that would see me. And she just got out of a long relationship at that point too. So after her 5-year relationship with her ex, then she jumped into another one with the dude that's in this story. And we need to give them some names, right? We're gonna go with Tess and Dre, okay? After she got out of her relationship of 5 years with her ex, she hopped into a new relationship with Dre, aka her baby daddy's best friend at the time. And no, she was not with her baby daddy or whatever. No, not the one of 5 years. That was a whole different stalker one. Like her ex was a stalker, the one of 5 years. Yeah, I would go and chill with them. They would come and pick me up. I would go sleep over at their apartment and all that. A whole bunch of ish went down with this couple. Here's a little backstory on Dre and Tessa's relationship back then. It was, she pretty much did the whole, oh my gosh, if I don't get my way, I'm gonna throw a fit. And he's like, well, what can I give you to shut you up kind of relationship. Very toxic, very toxic. One of those times, since I was engaged and everything back then, it was like she wanted like a race to see who can get married first. But the thing is, she never saw herself married. Like that was the weirdest shit to me. So I wouldn't expect her to like jump into a relationship to get married and da-da-da, you know? Dre decides to surprise her with not only a ring, I think the ring came later on. One of the gifts was an Audi, which was one of Tessa's favorite cars. And so he just put down like a down payment on a Audi. Note, this is another one. She was cheating on him during all this, right? I'm sorry, I'm just one of those friends. I'm like, no, if I see two people that don't need to be together, trust and believe, I'm gonna let you both no. And I let Dre know, I'm like, bruh, if he asked me a question and she cheated on me, I told him, I'm like, I mean, yeah. Because I just didn't have it in me, because I'm like, no. Because I told him, you don't deserve her. I told her she doesn't deserve him. And it's true, because he was really too good for her, and she was horrible for him. Horrible. And I'm like, y'all could split. They had no kids together. Y'all can be free. I ended up meeting this guy, and it was a really short relationship, nothing special. And I never introduced my boyfriends, hardly, we're talking really rarely, to Tess, because to her, nobody was like good enough for me, period. It's kind of giving that you, Netflix series you, Peach, this is what I'm talking about. She was very territorial. Yeah, when I started dating the dude, he said, hey, my homeboy lives in the same area as your best friend. How about we all get some drinks? We can go to the downtown area, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool, awesome. Here's another important part of the story. Before this little meetup happened, Dre was practicing, I guess he's really good with food. So he wanted to do something in like culinary, chef, something like that, right? And so I was always cool with him and all that. We had smoke sessions and all that shit, right? He got an offer, I think, to go to California for, I believe it was 2 months. 2 months. All expense paid, all that, just for culinary training and all that for the job that he was about to get, you know? And I thought that was really cool. While he's there, me and my boyfriend at the time, we travel all the way to Dallas. We see Tess. She's already side-eyeing this dude on time. We go in her car. We go all the way to downtown. We wait for his homeboy. We meet up with his homeboy at a bar. I'm a person that can usually hold my liquor. Now, Tess, on the other hand, she does not drink like that at that time. So we're all bar hopping at this point. And for the ones that care about Zodiac, Tess, Leo. My boyfriend at the time, Sag. His homeboy, Capricorn. You would think, okay, we can get earth sign, fire sign. Something in the back of my head was like, they could get along because, you know, Sag, Leo, perfect combo to get along with. And me and Capricorn, and me being a Virgo, perfect. While we were at this one bar, I'm sitting over here on the side with his homeboy, just having a conversation, and then we're both looking at them. I'm looking at my boyfriend, and I'm looking at Tess, and they start talking about what any fire sign just loves to talk about: money, stability, and oh, I got the most flashy da-da-da, and all that. So that's what they started to communicate over, pretty much a my horse is bigger than your horse deal. And then they started conversing over the most toxic shit because he had like court stuff with his baby mama. She's talking about her court stuff with her baby daddy. I'm like, am I missing something? So his homeboy's all chill and da-da-da, and his homeboy's going googly-eyed over Tess like she's like the greatest thing since white bread. It's funny because she's white. Okay, you think, okay, is everything going fine, blah blah blah, until we get to this last bar, and it had like a little rooftop or whatever. It was really cute. Me and Tess start talking to the guys, you know, about our past trauma and all this other shit, and we start crying because you know how you and your friend are just having like a moment, and they're like, oh yeah, y'all are really close, huh? I can tell that y'all are really close, blah, 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 blah. Sheridan, he starts asking me about my YouTube channel and da-da-da, but every time I was trying to talk to him, this is when Tess would just butt in because she's one of those attention seekers. Yeah, this is what was happening. And I'm like, what the hell? She's one of those girls that need male validation a lot, right? Note, again, her fiance is where? In California. Not calling this whole time because she's been wanting to get out of that relationship. Why didn't she leave, you ask? She was too busy using him for his money. Now I can picture this like it was yesterday. It's so, oh my god. So picture this, guy sitting down on the rooftop thing that you can sit down on, and it was like 2 steps down, like a platform, you know. I'm talking to Sheridan and Louie, and she comes up to my boyfriend. She comes up to my boyfriend and she's like, oh no, you wouldn't have to worry about that with me. I can take care of you, blah, blah, blah. Before she got like seriously drunk, she was making fun of my skin color. And she was like, no, nobody would want this bitch. And she was saying it in a joking manner, but we all know what that means. She was like, no one's gonna want her. She's black and crispy. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is going down the whole time we were at the bar. Now, no, Lewis is Hispanic. And then Sheridan, black. Tess, white girl. So I'm like, why would you? That's how you know. That's how you know someone sees you as a threat, when they have to constantly bring you down. Me and Sheridan are like, what the hell's happening here? She grabs his face and kisses him in front of me. And I know y'all are thinking, girl, did you beat her ass? You know how you're just so shook to your core, because the one thing after I think like 13, 14 years of being best friends, the last thing you would think is my best friend going towards my boyfriend, making any moves on my boyfriend. And I would never do that to her. And she was so cutthroat with it. I was like, wow. Oh yeah, my boyfriend at the time, Mr. Louie, yeah, he doesn't get off the hook either. No, fuck him. Okay, Sharon's looking at me like, did that just happen? Yeah. And literally shortly after, she ends up puking everywhere. So guess who comes to the rescue? Mr. Sheridan, who clearly knows she is taken, but like I said, he feels like she's the best thing since gluten-free bread. Like, bro, he's holding her hair. We were pretty much walking her out of the bar. So after we get her to a spot, we give her something to eat. Remember, another important part, she is drunk. We get to her car and they're like, the boys are like, you sure you don't want us to drive, and blah blah blah. She's like, I don't know if I could drive, I'm just da 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 da. She's like, I need to call Dre. She calls Dre. This is where it gets funny. He was like, what's up? She was like, I'm so drunk. I'm like, no, today's the day. And I was like, so you're just not gonna tell him that you kissed my boyfriend? Lewis was like petrified. He was like, oh my God, this is not going down right now. What you thought this was, bro? Dre was like, what do you mean? She was like, no, don't listen to her. And he was like, pass the phone to Catherine. So when I'm talking to Dre, I told Dre everything. I was like, yeah, she kissed him in front of me. She was screaming in the car. She was like, that's not even true, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I thought your ass was like white girl wasted just a few seconds ago, and now all of a sudden, like, she has everything. Motor skills on point. And then once again, the white girl privilege tears, they came down. You're damn right, they came down. But he was just like, oh for real, okay. And she's mad, screaming. Now no, me and Louie are sleeping at her house tonight because we didn't want to drive all the way back home where I am. And I was like, okay. So Sheridan ended up going home. So we get back to Tessa's place and it went down even there. She was pretty much yelling at me. She was like, you didn't have to tell him that, and blah, blah, blah. And Lewis was pretty much arguing with her also and saying, well, you didn't have to do that, da, da, da. I'm looking at both these clowns like, you ain't safe either. Like, you're not even my man anymore. Now you're my Uber ride. Like, here's what Tess says. Get ready. She told him, well, I told you, if anything were to ever happen to my best friend, that you would be gone. So in a narcissist's mind, this is how she was thinking. I'm going to kiss him in front of her so that she knows that he is no good for her, and that I will make myself look like the hero, basically. I know, it's so messed up, right? But that's exactly how she was thinking. Do you know how stupid that sounds? And in my head, I'm like, bro, after all these smoke sessions and all that, and your AA meetings and da-da-da, so you can go and get your son back, yeah, I could have screwed your boyfriend multiple times in private and never did. Louis, he ended up driving me all the way back home. We ended up breaking up. Sheridan ended up having a crush on me after he found out how Tess was. Like, talk about backtracking. So yeah, every time he hit me up trying to flirt, I cut it off. I cut it off. So yeah, no. That following December, like in the last story, my grandma ended up passing. I actually called her on the day of my grandma's passing after not talking to her for like, I think about a month or so or whatever, because she said she was going to come back to give Zay his birthday gifts in November. She never came back. So there's that. Yeah, when I called her and she was still with Dre, I know, toxic, right? And when I called her, she answered the phone, I kid you not, like, oh my God, what is it? And I was like, my grandma, she passed, blah, blah. And she was willing to come to the funeral, and somebody just told me, no, I didn't want her there. Fast forward 3 years later, 4 years later, this happened this year, probably about like a month or two ago. I really don't know, I forgot, I gotta look back. When I unblocked her, she sends me this. The thing is, when you apologize to someone, see, there's a difference between remorse and regret, okay? Regret is when you feel bad for getting karma, basically. You don't feel bad for what you did, you just hate that the consequences finally caught up to your ass. Remorse is you actually felt really, really bad. Like empathy. That is a classic narcissist. Like when someone has to apologize and say, I went through the most and I miss you. No, you miss my energy. Just pretty much being regretful, not remorseful. Yeah, no, we're better off distant, you know? A lot of stuff got better after I cut her out of my life, and that's what I noticed. I was like, yeah, when blessings start coming in after you cut somebody off, that's your answer right there. That's your answer right there. And as far as, yeah, my ex, that was a dead cause. He couldn't get over his baby mama. He really couldn't get over his baby mama at all. And he wanted to use me for my money, wanted to put both of his kids on my tax return and all that. He was money hungry. It was giving broke. It was giving, I don't have enough. It's giving I am not enough. Okay. I hope that y'all enjoy that messy story. And there's more to come. And yeah, make sure you follow me on all my social medias. All my social medias are linked in the description box below. And let me know what you think. Leave a comment. I want to know what y'all think about these stories so far, you know? And I will see y'all in the next one. Y'all have an awesome beginning of 2022. I love y'all. Bye.